everybody. I'm going to talk to you today about constructing a drum fill to come off the end of a drum beat. And we're going to start with a really basic eighth note pattern based around the hi-hat, snare drum, and bass drum. And this is a beat that is easy for, I think, all beginners to play, as well as intermediate and advanced, and something that as we go along we're going to add different elements to it to make it a little bit more exciting. But I want to establish first just what the pattern is as far as bass drum, snare drum, and hi-hat. And so I'm going to go ahead and play that for you now, and then we're going to go ahead and start adding stuff to it. So let's get the basic beat down first. Play the beat as slow as you need to get comfortable with it. And the first example of the tempo is about as fast as you want to do it at the very end of the tempo. So bring it up to that speed once you're comfortable. If not, stay at a slow tempo. It's not about speed, it's about playing things accurately. So get your counts together, feel comfortable whatever tempo you're at playing the beat. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add in this first fill. Now, the first fill is going to start at the end of the third measure, and it's going to start on the and of 4. And what we're going to do is we're going to go around the toms and then back up again. And we're going to be playing eighth notes going from one tom to the next floor tom to the next floor tom. So this will work for any of you that have a one tom setup up top, or if you have two toms and one floor tom. It's the same amount of drums, 1, 2, 3 here. And we're going to be playing on the same counts of the eighth note that we were playing on the hi-hat. We're just switching it over to here, and we're going to do it with two hands, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Okay? So if you're left-handed, switch it to left hands. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. And I'll go ahead and call out the counts while I play it, and hopefully this will be an easy thing for you to add into the beat. 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, so you'll notice that the eighth note fill pattern is actually added in on the what is the and of 4 at the end of the third measure. So counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So it actually stops on the count of 4 with your left hand up here on the rack tom, or on your very first tom. So that's the beginning of the pattern. There's 3 examples of tempo, how to play it, and we're going to add to it as we go along. So get that one solid, and then we're going to do the next one next week. All right, have fun. Talk about adding to the fill that we did last week and trying to make it a little bit more technically challenging for everyone. So wanted to change the eighth note fill that we did last week. That was 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Wanted to change that eighth note to a 16th note and still stop on 4. Okay, so what we would be doing is we'd be starting with the right hand and going 1 and 2 and 3 and a 3 and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4. And so we would still be stopping on the count of 4, but we'd be playing a 16th variation instead. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a Okay, everybody, so this week we're going to add to the fill pattern that we did last time, which was just all 16ths. This time what we're going to do is we're going to do 16ths from the upbeat, because we're actually starting the fill still on the and of 3. So what that would actually allow us to do is actually cut down the number of 16ths we play. So we're actually going to shorten the number of strokes that we do on each drum. And for some people this is a little bit harder, actually kind of stopping the momentum when you're doing full 16ths going around the kit. Sometimes it's easy just to kind of follow those through because it's easier counting. So this one is a little bit more of a challenge. So the actual pattern is going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. So what we're going to do is we're going to end on the and of 4 with the right hand up here. And so that's what that means by 16ths from the upbeat, because the downbeat is obviously the numbered counts and the upbeat are the and counts. So you're going to start on the and end on the and on the same drum. 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. And so it's still just a right left stroke. You're never going to double any strokes. There's some examples here for you that are fast and slow. So you should go through, and again, remember, keep the tempo that's most comfortable for you. Don't try and go faster and just frustrate yourself, because then you'll stop playing altogether. We don't want that. So, but definitely try and challenge yourself a little bit and maybe take it up a little bit from the tempo that you're comfortable with. And again, as these fills get more complicated, some people like to count them, and 1 E and 2 E and 4 E and like that. Or some people like to just maybe mouth the rhythm. 1 and 2 and ba 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 bum 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 1 and 2 3 ba 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 bum ba ba bum ba ba bum ba ba bum. You can do that too. Try and get comfortable with the count if you can. But whatever way you can remember that rhythm in your head, you can look at the notation as well. But definitely try and memorize what it sounds like, and then that'll make it a little bit easier to play. And the next one's going to be the most challenging, so that'll be fun for everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 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 and 2 and 3 fill of this pattern. Hope you guys have had fun with the 3 previous ones and that they've been somewhat challenging for you. This one is probably going to be the most difficult, but it will also be the most fun to play. And what I did is I used the very first rudiment that we all learned, the single stroke 4. Single stroke 4, single stroke 4. Some of you also know it as the bucket of fish. Bucket of fish, bucket of fish, bucket of fish, whatever. But this pattern again is going to start on the same count that we've been using, the and of 3 in the third measure. And this is going to be a triplet based count because the single stroke 4 is based on a triplet, the 16th triplet. Okay? So there's a very slow version of this. I would encourage most of you beginners to stick with that version because it's definitely going to be good for coordination and counting. And you'll see the faster versions too, obviously, and that's kind of where you would end up, you know, a ways down the road. The advanced guys definitely go for the faster version if you can. I'm sure most of you will be able to do that. It's still a challenge to get the sticking right though and get around the drum kit. I actually had to do it a few times just to get used to it myself. But the count is essentially 1 and 2 and 3 and the 4 and 1 triplet and 2 triplet and 3 triplet and 1 triplet and 2 3 and 1 triplet and 3 triplet and 4 triplet and. Okay, so you're going to go with kind of a long triplet figure on the first drum and a 4 triplet and 1 triplet and 2 triplet and 3 triplet and 4 triplet and. Those last 3 are essentially just single stroke 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and triplet 4 triplet and 1 triplet and 2 triplet and 3 triplet and 4 triplet and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and triplet 4 triplet and 1 triplet and 2 triplet and 3 triplet and 4 triplet and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 1 and 2 and 3 right left right left right left right right left 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 right left. Most of the fast fills that you hear in rock songs are generally based on 16th triplets. So you hear a lot of the, you know, older rock drummers or guys that are just kind of doing things like like big runs around the toms. Triplets are always the most challenging. Triplet stroke rolls are challenging because you're just adding 3 beats basically into a downbeat and an upbeat, where normally we've got 4 sort of linear sounding beats and a 16th or something. These have a rising and falling feel. So now we're going to take the elements of all 4 fills and we're going to combine them into one drum fill. We will still be starting on the and of 3 count. The count for the fill will be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1E and 2 triplet and 3 triplet and triplet 4. So you will still be stopping on the count of 4 on the rack tom. Again, the count comes off of the and of 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1E and 2 triplet and 3 triplet and triplet 4. So we combine the 8th note from the first fill, the 16th note from the second, a single stroke 4 from the third, and a 16th note triplet from the fourth.